Hi, this is Gareth Kentish, and today's video is about Aweber, probably the most advanced email marketing tool and autoresponder application available today in the market. And you will have noticed that Aweber is mentioned on numerous occasions throughout the Auction Money Generator program. And in the program itself there are a number of links inviting you to sign up to Aweber, and if you have signed up and logged in, you'll then see a screen that looks similar to what you see here. So what is Aweber all about, and why are there so many recommendations by the leading internet marketing people to subscribe to this application? Well, quite simply, it's an ideal tool to help you generate recurring revenues from the sales that you make through your eBay account. Because if you set Aweber up correctly and link it into your PayPal account, for example, you can actually invite your customers to subscribe to your newsletter or subscriber list. And that then allows you to legitimately send further correspondences or sales communications to them without fear of spamming. And spamming can be an issue, especially if you decide to blast your customers with unsolicited emails. What can happen, if this is the case, is your internet service provider can block your account, which would be a disaster. So using Aweber allows you to legitimately keep in touch with your customers, let them know about new promotions or items that you have within your eBay shop or even your own shop. So it's a fantastic tool to be acquainted with. So in this video what we'll do is we'll have a look at how to set up a list and linking it to your eBay shop, and then producing a web form which will then allow your customers to enter their details to sign up for the newsletter or the subscriber list. And what we'll then also do is to have a look at how to integrate the Aweber application into PayPal. So what we need to do is to create a list, and the way that we do that is to click on the tab button up here called My List, and then click on the Create a New List green button here. And hopefully you'll agree with me that the process then of adding details to these fields is fairly straightforward and easy. And the first thing we need to do is to create the list name. So I'm going to call my list My eBay Shop. And you can see there that the name is available. I'll put this description in again as My eBay Shop. I've also put a contact in there as well for myself. And you'll notice here that if you go to the bottom of the screen, click Save Settings, and that will then allow you to move on to the next step. If at any point you're confused or not sure what to do, just click on the Watch Video button here, and that will then guide you through the process. Enter a list name so
you can tell this list apart.
So I'm not going to go through each step here. I'm hoping you'll be able to create the list by following the steps and looking at the videos. What we'll now do is to look at creating a web form against the list that's already been created. Okay, so you can see here that I've generated a list called Auction Money Gen. So what I want to do is now create a web form against that list. And what the web form is a opt-in box which will invite my customers to sign up to my newsletter or subscriber list. So let's click on the web forms option. And we'll start the process by clicking on the Create a New Web Form. And from here, again, the process is self-explanatory, but let's just have a look at some of the options. And one of the first things we're asked is what we want the template to look like. Now I'm quite comfortable with something that's fairly conservative, but you can change your layouts by selecting some of the templates up here. But I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to get rid of the header by clicking the X, and I'm also going to get rid of the footer down here, and I'll probably keep that one. Actually, I think that's useful. Don't need that. So you can see here it's fairly flexible. I'm happy with that. So really what I'm going to do with this form is to invite the customer to enter their name followed by their email, and it's as simple as that. So I'm going to save the web form and move on to step 2. And now moving on to step 2, I can call my web form my eBay shop, for example. I can then actually integrate into Facebook, but I'm not going to cover that off in this video. Just trying to show you the basic settings of setting up a web form. So I'm going to save that and move on to step 3. So I save first and then click the blue button. The next step is all about publishing the code of your form. There are 3 options. First one is to install the form yourself. The second is to pass it over to a web designer. And the third is to ask Aweber to host that form for you. The one that we're interested in is the first option. So we'll click on that. And you again get presented with 2 further options. One is to have what they call a JavaScript snippet, which is fine if you're putting the script into your own website or WordPress blog or something similar, but eBay won't actually allow for JavaScripts to be embedded within the HTML editors. So what you need to do is to click on the raw HTML version, and there you have the code that you can then save and paste into the HTML editor within eBay. So let's just look at how we do that. Now, to save that text, what we need to do is to grab the text using the mouse, and then moving the mouse down, I'm depressing the left hand side of the mouse button and highlighting the text in blue, and I've now got that text. I can then click on Control C, open up my notepad and press Control V to have that text stored as a permanent record. So let's do that. And I've opened up my notepad. I move the cursor to the top left hand side, Control V, and there you have the code for that web form created for me. Bearing in mind that will now be the code that will then add subscribers to the list name that we created called My eBay Shop. It's as simple as that. Now, if you've watched previous videos within the Auction Money Generator program, you will remember that I've used a form similar to the one that we've just created in my eBay About Me page. And how I created that form was to place the code similar to what we've just created here into the HTML About Me page editor. So let's just have a look at the About Me page first and then see how we can insert this code and help create a neat looking About Me page. So let's have a look at my About Me page first. So I'll flick over to my eBay shop and click on the About Me page, and you should be able to see on the right hand side there my invitation form for membership and newsletters, and there I am inviting people to enter their name and their email. And that's a great way to build up your subscriber list. So how did I insert the box there? Well, let's have a look at the editor. So we'll have to revise my About Me page. And the way that I do that is to go to the bottom of the screen where it should allow me to make adjustments or amendments. It says here to create my About Me page, click here. I'll do that. I'll put my password in. I'm at the screen that I'm familiar with, so I want to edit my page, and I wish to create my own HTML code, which is here. Press continue. And now what I want to do is to find the code that created the form, and if I wanted to place your form in that we've just created through Aweber, I would then use that code and replace the code on the page. And the way that I do that is I look for the code where it's marked Aweber and delete between the brackets, the 2 brackets that will be expressed within this code showing the Aweber text. Crikey, how do I do that? Well, we'll use the Control F function to find out where that Aweber text starts within this page. So go Control F, then move up to the top there, and then type in these characters for me, the greater than, exclamation mark, slash, and then A, and then W. And what the search function has done for me is found exactly where that text begins. Now the greater than exclamation mark in HTML just means that it's a comment box that's put into the text. So it's a great way of indicating the beginning and the end of the text that we're trying to find. In this case, we've found the beginning of the Aweber text, and you can see it's here. I'll just highlight that in blue for you. And it's got their Aweber form generator version 3 and all the text underneath that until you see the end of Aweber text is the text that we wish to replace with the text that we've created through Aweber. So let's do that. However, just before we do that, it would be a neat trick to just place characters in front of the Aweber exclamation mark there, and we'll type in Zs. I'll explain that as we go through this video. But let's now highlight the text underneath, and we'll do that all the way up until we find the end of Aweber. So I'm just moving slowly down. I've got the Shift key depressed and I'm moving the down arrow button, and I'm just going down line by line to find that code. And I'm moving further down here. Let's have a look. All this stuff we can remove, and I think, well, there we go. Found it. And you can see here we've got that comment box made in the text there, and I'm just going to move it to the end here, and then I can delete that text, and I'll do that by clicking the delete button. So I've now deleted that script from the About Me page. The reasons why I put the Z's in there is because if I do get lost in this text, I can always go Control F and then type in the 4 Z's, and it will then find exactly where I want to be to place the new code into the page. To get the new code, we then move to the notepad, so let's do that. There's the text. I'm now going to grab that text by clicking on Edit. I'm going to select all highlighted in blue, and then going to copy that into computer memory, so click on Copy. I've now got that in computer memory. I can close the notepad down, and then if I move the cursor to the last Z and click the enter button, and I want to place the text here, so if I now go Control V, I've now put the text for your form into my About Me page. So if I then go and have a look and see what that looks like, let's just quickly go over, continue, you should now see your form appearing. There it is, lovely. And if I then save that, before I do, of course, I need to delete those 4 Z's, so I would go back and delete those 4 Z's. But then if I save that, I'll go Control F, find those 4 Z's, there they are, just move the cursor there, delete, happy with that, continue, let's see what the form looks like. I've now got your form in there, as you can see, and if I then save that, I've now entered your form, which would then create a subscriber list against the list name My eBay Shop against your Aweber account. I hope that's helpful. Thanks again for watching. My name's Gareth Kentish.